There's a new feature in FileMaker 11 called recurring imports, and the idea behind it is to allow you to make a link to an Excel spreadsheet, and rather than just importing it once, have it continually import the data. It's not a live link, you have to click a button, but it will allow you to bring the data in if you're still entering some data in Excel, and bring it in FileMaker to manipulate it there as well. So it kind of makes this little link, this bridge between FileMaker and Excel that's a little bit easier than just going ahead and importing all the time. Because if you want to do that normally, you go to the File menu, you choose Import Records, choose File, and we've made a file called names.xls from the names.fp7 file, a spreadsheet from it. You choose this, you click on it, you click Open, and you get the same dialog that you're used to that we showed you in the previous section. And you'd match everything up and you'd import it. And then if you want to import it again, well, you'd have to go through this process again. So we're going to cancel that. We're going to go to File, Import, and choose File this time. Choose the Excel workbook again. Choose this, but this time we're going to choose Set Up as a Recurring Import. So we'll click Open, and it's going to give you this dialog that kind of walks you through this process. And what it does is it creates a script for you. It's no different than what you can do manually. You can actually do all this stuff by creating the script and the table and all that kind of great stuff. But it just makes it really easy for people who are beginning out with FileMaker to get that little bridge between it. So the first thing you want to look at is don't import this first record. That's the labels at the top, and our Excel spreadsheet does have labels at the top, as you'll see. In fact, let's take a look at it real quickly right now. You'll see that we have all this data here, and the labels are the first row, so that's what we want to check that option, so we don't import that as a record. Now, when you go down to this and check this and skip this, you're skipping some very important information. You want to read this. This file is used when the data is imported. If you change the file location, you must edit the script. So really, if you're not familiar with scripting, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put it in a spot where you're not going to move it from. Right now it's on my desktop. So if I move it, then the script that it creates for you, because if you're using this feature you probably don't know scripting, well, it will remember that path. So that's great. Make sure you read all this dialog, and then we come down here. What layer are we going to give a name for? Well, let's just leave it as names. And what's the script going to be called? Names. Well, we could change it. We could call it names import, something like that. And when you click OK, it's going to go ahead and create a layout, a table, a script, and all kinds of great stuff. So let's take a look at what it created for you before we show how it allows you to update or bridge between it. So first thing we want to do is go to Manage Database. And we go to the table section. We'll notice we have two tables now. If we'd done a regular import, we could have gone into the existing table. So if we're going to use a recurring import, we want to make sure we don't create the table first, because this feature will create it for you. Also created all these fields for you based on what was in that Excel spreadsheet. So that's pretty nice. Now it also created a layout for you. If you look under your layout menu, you'll see you have contacts is what we were at before, and now we have names. It also created this script for you. We're going to get into scripts later, but that's over here, and in Manage Scripts you'll see it. It made that for you so you don't have to know anything about scripting. And so all we have to do is, if we want to update our spreadsheet, we go to it, we go into, let's say, Billy's record, and say, oh, he likes to go by Bill, so I'll change that. And then maybe we want to add another record in here. So we'll go in and add John. And then very importantly, we need to make sure we save it. And then we can switch back over to FileMaker. And when we click this button, it's going to update it for us. Now we have Bill, and you'll see that we have John down here at the bottom. So this makes it very easy for somebody who just wants to use a few FileMaker features and wants to continually import that Excel data. Now, I really recommend that if you're going with FileMaker, it's far superior and far more capable than Excel. In fact, it can do charting now, which is one of the main reasons people kept using Excel. There's no reason to use it, and so this feature can be kind of nice, but if you're tied to that spreadsheet and you have to do it for other people who are entering data into it, fine, use this feature. But I would recommend just using your traditional import, get that data in there, and then do your continual data entry in FileMaker rather than having it in two different places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this extra table, this extra layout, the script and all that stuff, because I don't really want to use that. So when you come back, you want to do the same thing. In the next section, those will all be gone.